What is up, everybody? I'm Joe. I'm here with my co-host Tim,
How's it going, guys?
and this is the Final Serve. Today we're going to talk about our Week 15 picks. And the first game we're going to talk about, New York Giants at the Atlanta Falcons. I see the Giants winning this game, even though they seem to be a little inconsistent. I think that they're pretty much going to dominate that Falcons offensive line, and they're going to hit Matt Ryan hard, and he's going to make some mistakes. The only thing that worries me is if somehow they can't manage a pass rush, I don't see how the Giants secondary is going to stop Roddy White or Julio Jones. It should be an interesting game. I got to go with the Giants here, man.
See, the first point you bring up is the pass rush. It's been almost non-existent all year round. I mean, Tuck still only has 3 sacks on the season. I think JPP leads the team with like 6.5. They haven't been getting to the quarterback as they have in other years. And you got to think the Falcons are probably going to try to rely on that run game to neutralize the pass rush anyway. It's funny though, the Giants whooped the Saints last week. I couldn't help but after watching that game to feel that they didn't play that well. I mean, Eli threw some terrible picks. A couple more picks were dropped in the game. I mean, the only reason they scored 52 points was because of Wilson. I mean, Wilson and the special team just ran all over the Saints.
Fair enough.
I mean, Eli all season long hasn't really looked very sharp. I don't know, maybe if it is the arm fatigue that they've been talking about earlier on in the season. I don't know. With this Giants team, I don't know which way to go with them. I mean, they're so inconsistent. One week, they look like the best team in the NFL. And the next, they look like the worst.
Well, I wouldn't go and say that they look like the worst. But
Okay, I'm being a little extreme there, but I mean, the point is that they're so inconsistent. I mean, my main point is you never know which team is going to show up. But the same token, this Falcons team, I don't think is all that great either. I know they're 11-2, but the
some of
record.
those games they should not have won.
The Falcons won a game where Matt Ryan threw 5 picks in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, most teams don't win a game like that. I mean, their schedule's been somewhat weak, but it is at the Dome, which is the reason why I think the Falcons should be favored in this game. I really don't know which way to go. I mean,
But at the same time, don't you almost feel like because of the past almost dominance that the Giants have had over the Falcons, that don't you think maybe they should be favored in this game? I mean, I understand it's in the Georgia Dome and Falcons don't lose in the Georgia Dome. I think the Giants could beat them in the Georgia Dome.
I don't disagree with it. I think the problem is which Giants team shows up. Is it the Giants team where Eli throws 4 touchdowns in the game? A Giants team that finds a way to win? The Giants team that overmatches their opponent? Or is it the Giants team where Eli throws a ball to nobody and it's a pick 6? Or does Corey Webster play or does he get beat again? I mean, in this game, I'd really like to see Justin Tuck step up. The man only has 3 sacks on the season. I'd like to see him get at least a couple in this game.
How about at least one?
Something. I mean, I'd like to see some life from him. But if I had to pick anyone in this game, I'm only going to go Giants because of the desperation. They need this game. Right now, they feel like they have to win out in order to win this division, which would obviously be the safe bet, considering how good the Redskins and Dallas are playing. But if the Giants win this game, they're not gonna blow them out like they did the Saints. I think it's gonna be a pretty close one. If anything, I'm gonna go Giants 23, Falcons 20.
I'm also gonna go the Giants. I haven't been impressed with the Falcons. Like you said, the Giants are now feeling the heat. So give me the Giants 24, Falcons 17.
In our next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Dallas Cowboys. Two teams still fighting for a playoff spot. Dallas still needs a little help to get in. Pittsburgh controls their destiny. I'm going Pittsburgh in this game. I like them because they have a solid defense, one of the best in the league, solid running game. Big Ben finally got the rust off. He's going to play much better in this game. I don't think they make the silly mistakes that they made in the last game with the butt fumble against like they did against San Diego. Dallas is just too inconsistent for me to pick them. I think that I like their defense also, but Des Bryant's out, so that's one less weapon for Romo. I think the Steelers actually dominate them in this game. I'm gonna go Steelers 28, Cowboys 14.
I'm also going to go the Steelers, but I don't think it's going to be necessarily a domination. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. The Steelers don't look like the Steelers, and that concerns me a little bit. I don't see Dallas winning for the simple fact that this team is just all over the place offensively. And it's like they lose these games that they should just be tearing teams apart. And with a Steelers defense, I don't see Romo doing a whole lot. I'll take the Steelers 21, the Cowboys 14. Our next game, the Sunday night matchup, the San Francisco 49ers at the New England Patriots. I got to tell you, I'm going Patriots all the way.
I think you're crazy.
I don't trust Kaepernick. I don't. I really don't. I think
That's fine, but that defense for San Fran is legit, and they're gonna be in his face all night. And we all know how Brady plays when he gets a little pressure in his face.
I agree, but I just think this is the Patriots' time of year. I think they're going to play well. I think it's going to be a relatively high-scoring game.
Really?
Yeah, I just have this feeling. I mean, they blew out a Houston Texan team that I really didn't think it was going to be that bad. I knew the Patriots were going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Yeah, but there were a couple calls in the beginning of that game that I felt favored the Patriots and kind of turned the tide over. And Schaub throwing that pick in the end zone hurt Houston. They never really recovered from that. I don't know. I don't see how you can say that it's going to be a shootout. I mean, San Fran's defense doesn't really give up points.
Well, I think they're going to be giving up points in this one, and I don't I don't necessarily see Kaepernick doing a whole lot.
Kaepernick, he shouldn't even be the starting quarterback for this team.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I feel like Alex Smith got stabbed in the back here. I mean, you helped bring this team to an NFC championship. You were doing fine. They weren't losing because of Alex Smith. And to turn around and just dump him like that, I mean, I don't know. It's to me, it's just
a guy that's not proven.
For a guy who had what he made one solid game against the Bears, but I mean, look at the rest of the schedule who the teams he's played against. He came in for Smith against the Rams. What did he do? Tied the game. Congratulations there. Okay, you beat up on the Bears. Cutler wasn't there though, so the defense.
It turns out that the Bears don't seem to be as good as we thought they were.
Yeah, but at that point in the season, the Bears were playing at a high level. But my point is that Cutler wasn't in the game. The defense was on the field all night. So okay, fine. I'll give Kaepernick that. Okay. Then you have the Saints. The Saints who don't really have a good defense at all. Not even middle of the pack type defense. And you won that game because the 49ers had 2 pick sixes in that game.
Yeah, Drew Brees played terrible in that one.
And Kaepernick didn't exactly play all that well. He had 1 touchdown, 1 pick in the game. Not exactly stellar numbers there. Then, next week, he plays the almighty Rams again and loses. So already in the division, you got 1 loss and a tie against the Rams. I understand they're playing better under Fisher right now, but
Even the Jets beat the Rams.
there you go. That says it all. Even the Jets beat the Rams, and then you played Miami.
Well, Miami's one of those teams you never know which team is going to show up.
And
Because, I mean, they could be decent, but then they've been completely awful this year. So,
for they took Smith out because they said Kaepernick had more potential with throwing the deep ball. Well, let's see. Kaepernick threw for 185 yards against Miami, 208 yards against St. Louis, 231 yards against New Orleans, 243 against Chicago, and 117 subbing in for Smith against the first time against the Rams.
and he's really not
It's
throwing all that much when
yeah,
you look at his numbers.
and with the Rams he dropped back 32 times and only had 208 yards.
Yeah.
For a guy who's supposed to be able to throw the deep pass, I mean, where is it?
Well,
Where's the long ball?
in that game against the Rams, he was only averaging 6.5.
Yeah,
So you're averaging 6.5 yards per throw.
I mean,
I think Alex Smith could
you
do
mean to
that.
tell me Alex Smith couldn't have went in and beat the Rams? He would have probably beat the Rams the first go around. You mean to tell me they wouldn't have won against the Rams the second time around? Miami, he could have beat. The Saints wouldn't. The Saints defense is porous. Maybe the Bears, I could see him possibly losing, but okay, it would have been a closer matchup, but they would have probably still won just because Cutler wasn't there. I just feel bad for Smith. He got gypped. He got cheated. They threw him under the bus, and I think it might even hurt him in the playoffs, considering that with all that pressure being on Kaepernick. Maybe it might be too much for him.
That's why I think, to bring this full circle, that's why I think that the Patriots are going to go and they're going to beat the 49ers. I just don't trust this kid. I think the Patriots defense is improving. Tom Brady's Tom Brady. So,
But see, one thing I could see the 49ers doing in this game is running the ball, and running the ball some more, keeping Brady off the field. When Brady's on the field, they're going to get pressure to him. They're going to hit Brady. There's no doubt about it. And when any quarterback starts getting hit, the numbers aren't so stellar. So
yeah.
I'm going 49ers in this game. And I think it's going to be a close one, but I'm picking the 49ers 24, the Patriots 17.
Give me the Patriot in this one, 28-24.
For our final game, we got the New York Jets versus Tennessee Titans. Well, as miserable as the Jets have looked this season, there's still a glimmer of hope that they can make the playoffs. They have the weakest schedule remaining. Granted, I don't think the Chargers are going to be as easy as the other two teams they face. But it's just funny to think that as miserable as this team's looked, as bad as they've played all season, they can still somehow make the playoffs. It just boggles my mind.
Well, it just goes to show how weak the AFC has been.
It's atrocious. I mean,
Listen,
inconsistent
this
play
team
from.
has been embarrassing to watch at times.
Okay.
And the thought that now they could possibly make the playoffs, I'll die laughing if they make the
They're a
playoffs.
painful team to watch. That is embarrassing. I mean, but hey, good for the Jets. They just signed Berlin
I
Edwards.
think that's huge.
That hey, that
Huge.
that can help out Sanchez a whole lot.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to help them because, A, it really doesn't seem like Sanchez has a whole lot of support, and him and Braylon Edwards seem pretty close. So at least when he goes into that huddle, he knows that there will be at least one person that has his back.
Yeah.
And they have a good rapport on the field.
Well, everyone's big about this signing until Sanchez throws a ball deep downfield and Braylon Edwards drops the ball, just like good old times.
Yeah, but is it really going to be that much different than throwing
But
the
yes,
ball
no, I
down the
understand. I
field to
understand, but
Stephen Hill?
I'm
And
just trying to say it's not like. Don't
plus,
get me wrong. Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards brings more
Well, I was just about to say,
than.
Braylon Edwards gives him a deep threat now that they don't have. It's not like he's like a Calvin Johnson type receiver. I mean,
Yeah, but Braylon Edwards also give you a good blocking receiver, so it'll also help the run game. I think he brings more to this offense than what people realize, and I think he's going to give them a pretty huge boost, to be honest with you.
It's a good signing, but maybe too little, too late.
Might be, but it's really risk free.
Yeah, no, listen, I've
And why not go for it? Because you know what? Here's the thing. If the Jets didn't go and do this, everyone would be up in arms on how they've given up on the year and let's go into this game with two
well, my
receivers
feeling is
or
they should have just given up on the year.
I
Get
know,
a
but
higher draft pick. Now if they make the playoffs, they're gonna get knocked out first round.
right,
They're
but
gonna get knocked out first round. And then what? Now you're settling for a
I,
bottom
I just feel
of the
like
barrel first round pick?
I just feel like you're a professional team. You can't just quit.
When you're a professional team that needs to focus on the future.
Right, but
I
there's
mean, this is
still there's
they're not gonna
they
turn
could
around.
try to. It's not like they can't try to move up in the draft. It's just at this point, if you have a chance, why not go for it? I mean, you never know. You may catch some lucky breaks. You never know.
Yeah, you mean to tell me they're gonna turn around and go 9-7 and do what the Giants did last year?
I'm not saying they're
I
going to the
somehow
Super
doubt
Bowl,
that.
but you know, at the same time, stranger things have happened in this world.
Yeah, well, to get back to this game though, I think the only interesting thing to see, the only interesting part about this game is that Chris Johnson's having a bounce back year. He's rushed for 1,037 yards. The Jets struggle to stop the run also. So if he has a big game, I can see the Jets losing this. You'd like to see the Jets offense put up some points in this game. The Titans defense isn't really all that solid this year. They're on the bottom of the barrel in defensive ranking. They're 26th against the pass. So maybe Sanchez has a big game here. He's finally getting some help. It's time for him to step up a little bit.
I agree with you. And also, the Titans are 24th against the run, so
You figure they're gonna give up some points in this game.
uh, it'll be interesting to see what happens. On both sides, it's going to be heavy run offense. Um, I can see Powell and Sean Green having big games. I can also see Chris Johnson having a big game. Um, it'd be nice to see Sanchez step up, like you said, especially now that he has a receiver. So I think the game's going to actually be a pretty decent one to sit and watch.
Hmm.
Um,
I don't know. It looks like two teams going nowhere fast. I mean,
I'm going to take the Jets here. I don't see the Titans winning this game. I'm not the biggest fan of Jake Locker, but then again, who is he throwing to?
still got at least a running game to back them up.
Yeah, but that team is a mess also. Give me the Jets 24, the Titans 10.
I could see the Titans winning this game and spoiling the season for the Jets or the comeback for the Jets because of the run game, because they might get a few play action passes off. But at the same time, how did the Jets not show up for this game? I mean,
Well, they've not shown up before when you thought that they'd step up.
yeah, but this game's built for them. I mean, this is a game where if they can stop Chris Johnson, then the Titans have nothing else going for them.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially the quarterback struggled the last few games. He's thrown 3 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in his last 3 games. So he's struggling right now, which is why I'm gonna go with the Jets in this one. The Jets haven't really been able to put up many points, so I don't think it's gonna really be an offensive battle. Give me the Jets 17, the Titans 13.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at The Final Serve. Like us on Facebook, and please subscribe.
You've just been served.